protesters overnight when a self-appointed vigilante started shooting into a crowd. Now, 2 more people are dead as Jacob Blake lays motionless in hospital. Add to that, a 17-year-old is now charged with first-degree murder. The situation has intensified each night, with the riot squad firing tear gas into the crowds, and across Kenosha, overall chaos. Tonight, NBA players made their strongest statement yet against racial injustice, boycotting an entire slate of playoff games. The U.S. Justice Department is now opening its own investigation into Blake's shooting. Joy Melvin starts us off with another disturbing night.
The city burst into another night of violence, peaceful protests growing angrier and deadly. This man carrying a semi-automatic rifle opened fire in the middle of the street. The crowd chases him, he falls to the ground and shoots again. Witnesses describe the chaos.
There was a struggle for the rifle, and he hit that one person that was attacking him in the arm at point-blank range.
That man was seriously injured, and police say 2 other people were killed. Charged with first-degree intentional homicide is 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse from Illinois, an admirer of law enforcement and guns, and a supporter, it seems, of Donald Trump, seen here at his rally in January.
What I can't tell you is what led to the disturbance, that led to the use of deadly force by this person.
Police don't have a motive, but on Facebook there was a call to arms for a citizens' militia to protect the city after businesses were destroyed.
I had a person call me and say, why don't you deputize citizens who have guns to come out and patrol the city of Kenosha? And I'm like, oh, hell no.
The unrest has grown night after night, ongoing battles with police erupting after Sunday's shooting of Jacob Blake, shot in the back in front of his young boys, paralyzing him from the waist down. The officer identified as Rustin Shesky, a 7-year veteran of the Kenosha Police Department. Tonight, Blake's family is pleading for calm.
For anyone who's doing anything that is violent or destructive, please stop.
Joe Biden consoled Blake's family, condemning the police shooting.
And I told them justice must and will be done.
While Trump seized on the unrest to build his case for re-election, tweeting, "I will restore law and order." Tonight, Wisconsin's governor is accepting more help. 1,000 National Guard members will be deployed to Kenosha. And he's implementing an earlier curfew, warning that anyone out will be arrested. Lisa?
All right, Joy Melvin, thanks for this tonight. Nowhere is the call for racial justice louder than in the NBA, where today the bubble became suffocating. The Milwaukee Bucks boycotted their own playoff game today, which it turned out was just the first of many cancellations, all in protest. Here's Genevieve Beauchemin with the details.
An empty court, the game clock counting down to 0. That's the powerful message basketball players in a bubble sent out to the world. The Milwaukee Bucks refused to leave their locker room and take the floor, boycotting Game 5 of their series against the Orlando Magic in protest of the police shooting in their home state.
Despite the overwhelming plea for change, there has been no action, so our focus today cannot be on basketball.
Their play drew applause from some watching closely from the sidelines.
The owners are going to lose money. As a result, they're going to make sure the players lose money. It don't matter. That's what the play is, boycotting these games. That's what they're saying. It doesn't matter because there are things that are more important than money. Our people is more important than money. That's what they're saying.
All NBA and WNBA games scheduled for tonight were postponed, and the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team also sat out in solidarity. The boycotts came after news of talks between the Toronto Raptors and Boston Celtics that were considering staying off the court tomorrow. The season had nearly been canceled after the George Floyd shooting, and some Raptors say they joined the bubble to drive home a message of racial justice. But kneeling and messages on their shirts seem to have accomplished little in the face of another shooting video.
It makes me question my decision. It makes me question if this was the right decision or are we really making a change? Are we really doing something meaningful?
LA Clippers coach Doc Rivers, son of a police officer, had made an emotional plea, saying we must demand better.
We're the ones getting killed. We're the ones getting shot. It's amazing why we keep loving this country, and this country does not love us back.
And players say together they've now taken a significant step, that their message is bigger than ball games.
It's not clear how long the sports boycott will last, whether the Raptors or any team will play tomorrow. Lisa.
We will all be watching that. All right, Genevieve, thanks for this from Montreal. Major League Soccer also canceled games tonight, while the NHL playoffs went ahead. Evander Kane of the San Jose Sharks and the Hockey Diversity Alliance told Sportsnet the league and his fellow players need to do more.
And until everybody decides to take it upon themselves and maybe step away from some of their privileges to educate themselves and really fight with us, we're going to be in the same situation we are today.
The NHL did hold what it called a moment of reflection before tonight's game. You can go to our website for all the reaction of athletes and coaches taking a stand on this. That is all at ctvnews.ca. No charges will be laid against the Toronto police officers who were inside the apartment of Regis Korchinski-Paquette when she fell from her 24th floor balcony. Reaction to the decision today was swift and sharply pointed at how police deal with those in mental distress. Heather Wright has the story.
The family of Regis Korchinski-Paquette say a prayer near the place where the 29-year-old plunged to her death. Today, Ontario's Special Investigations Unit cleared the officers present that night of any wrongdoing.
We're totally disgusted with the outcome.
5 911 calls were placed from the family apartment on May 27th. Korchinski-Paquette and her brother were fighting. Knives were involved and police were called to help. When officers arrived, the family was in the hall. But when Korchinski-Paquette went back into the apartment to use the bathroom, 2 officers followed. Investigators say she then fled to the balcony, trying to escape the police. Once outside, the report says, very quickly, Ms. Korchinski-Paquette scaled the balcony railing and the officer lost sight of her. She was trying to get to the balcony next door when she slipped and fell.
I think we tried our best on that day, and we'll examine everything again to see if we can do better.
The family calls the report disappointing, saying there were omissions and discrepancies with their own independent autopsy. While the family initially alleged she was pushed, evidence shows Korchinski-Paquette was alone when she fell.
There remained a duty of care. And with that duty of care, opens up the officers to 2 charges.
Lawyer Nia Singh says Off failed to provide the necessities of life and should be charged with criminal negligence causing death.
Justice for Regis!
Korchinski-Paquette's death sparked widespread protests, and today the family called for change in how police respond to people of color in crisis.
If the Toronto police didn't go inside the apartment, if they didn't follow my sister into the apartment, she would still be alive.
Police will conduct an internal review which will include how mental health resources could be better deployed in the future. Lisa. All right, Heather, thanks for this tonight at Toronto Police Headquarters.